top one of the European duelers, and that could, have a direct impact on the rankings that we would hold in Europe if he's able to beat Raisy now. Because I think Raisy is well up there as well.
I think if K1llsen's able to defeat Raisy, you'd almost go as far to say that you think that whoever wins this losers bracket final is going to, at the very least, before they even get a chance at fighting Rafa, cement themselves as the #1 dueler in this part of the region. Because you look at everyone that was in this bracket, everyone that you would kind of put in the runnings is pretty much here.
Which is crazy, because before this tournament, I would say Keel was the top European player.
Oh, yeah, of course.
He had a matchup against Cypher to decide who would play in the Group B final. And for him, that's a bad matchup. He says that Cypher tends to have his number, even if Cypher might be lower down the European rankings. And maybe that could just ruin it for him. And we'll forget about Keel till DreamHack Winter. I'm sure we won't forget about him, but you know what I'm saying. K1llsen, though, and Raisy, do you have a prediction? Are you going to go with what we saw last time?
My prediction is that K1llsen, I don't think that his loss against Rafa is going to phase him too much, and I think he's had a little bit more time today to get refreshed on the Raisy matchup. He's mentioned that, he would have to adapt a slightly different style, because Raisy, back in the day, they would play all the time. During the DreamHack qualified days, both Winter and Denver, they would go head-to-head regularly. And there has had to be some changes here. So I'm going to go on there. I'm going to say K1llsen. I think K1llsen's taking it.
I think that Raisy was playing so sick versus Claws. I think he's going to go nuts now, and I think Raisy's going to take it and get revenge. That's just anyway, look how nice it is. We're both hedging our bets over here. We have the band picks coming in, We've got Visor and BJ from both players right now. I was expecting Galena, even on the likes of Blood Covenant, because Galena's been such a popular champion this tournament. That's going to be a Galena for Raisy. And finally, a Nyx. We are going to get the Nyx out, and that's going to be in the hands of K1llsen.
Much more of a traditional pick for K1llsen. He was one of the real sort of Nyx innovators, and always going in with the Nyx, because it allowed his rail game to become more dangerous. He was always known for having a really, really excellent rail, and Nyx having that sort of like unique characteristic where she can take one of those absolute pot shots that would otherwise leave you out of position, and she's got that get out of jail free card of the Ghost Walk, which makes a very rail heavy player even more rail heavy and even more dangerous.
Yeah. The thing is, Raisy used Nyx versus K1llsen in their last series, and he ended up losing the map, I think, chasing over towards the hourglasses. I wonder if his decision to not pick Nyx was because of that lack of hourglasses we now have on Blood Covenant. Nevertheless, guys, we are moving into the game, the lower bracket final here at the Quake Duel Invitational at Local Comic and Games 2018. We are on Raisy's point of view as he goes up versus Biggs K1llsen.
There's a lot of the marbles on this match,
Many
that's
marbles.
for sure. Whoever wins this will be in the grand finals as our second player. On the loser's side, of course, but it doesn't matter, because the grand finals is going to be, at the very least, a good little trophy to hold. And the accolade as the finest dueler in this part of the world.
We do have BJ going up versus Nyx to start with. Let's have a look how this next heavy is going to get played out. Raisy, he finds him over a bridge. Oh my god! Oh, the thing is, that was juicy as hell. Okay, K1llsen actually hung around to go for a rail. That's really sick from him. But he's going to get the heavy armor, which he's putting a big delay on. And it's going to heal him up from, that 100 damage, which is now meaningless.
You almost feel like he was trying to somewhat bait Raisy by just a tiny bit. Like, it was almost like half delay, half insurance policy, just in case he arrives, he has some time to play with. And K1llsen caught off guard, but the return rocket! Just when you feel like he's in a terrible position, he lands a horrendously amazing rocket like that. And he gets the rail as well. And what could have been a really dire situation is going to be flipped on its head. K1llsen misses that rail, but he's still in a wonderful position nevertheless.
I love what Raisy did. He went over to the blood pool. He got just one tick of health, plus 5, and then his passive carries him forward to the next health bar. He's found some light armors. He's at 100 approximately. Wants to try and evade K1llsen. Moves away. Now knows that the the Ghost Walk is gone. Goes for one rail. He's got the dual wheel going. He's vulnerable now with only 1 HP. There's one final rail shot. I don't know if K1llsen would die to this, and he's going to land it instead. They were both playing with fire during that fight.
They were indeed. I was actually kind of worried for a second that K1llsen hadn't swapped weapons. I mean, maybe he didn't have his SMG, but I think he's been alive for so long it was unlikely. Now, I know he has had a heavy machine gun the entire time. How about that? But now he's got the Ghost Walk, he can sort of get away with it. He knows his hands to hit. Watch out, this could be guaranteed. Surprises with the LG, and even though Raisy gets an amazing turnaround rail, it's not enough, and K1llsen is still alive.
Yeah, I love how he did that. Getting the entry rail shot just before Raisy sneaks down below bridge. And it's an easy follow-up afterwards, even if it's leaving him on low health. getting all the resources left here in the pillar room, now being able to make a good escape. Oh my god, that was a lot of nails that just landed. Great timing on that.
Very much was indeed, and he's pulled off some really impressive Nyx plays so far. Can still tank 2 rails, even with this heavy armor, it's not going to be enough. Has to try and get out there as fast as possible. Even at 10 HP, armor is not going to save you from a rail, and he's pulled off some amazing Nyx plays already that kind of confirms that, let's not forget, K1llsen has got one of the strongest Nyx in the entire game. Like, he is absolutely phenomenal with this champion. It's just his game sense, and all of his plays are coming from the rails. It's like I said, they go hand in hand.
Yeah, he's been hitting a lot of amazing shots at the moment. There is the Ghost Walk. K1llsen doesn't go on the direct chase. I think Raisy almost felt that he would. He could get a nice couple of rockets going, not know from which direction he's coming from. But K1llsen playing it a little bit more passively. With 1 minute and 40 left on the clock, he doesn't need to rush into a fight.
Nah, I don't want to say he mistimed the heavy there. I think he was going there just to see if it spawned, and he's decided, nope, he must have taken it by now. I'm going to get out there and try and do something else. With the Ghost Walk available, we can see another big play, maybe an assassination attempt. At the very least, a chance to escape. He's clearly trying to play this defensive game, and there it is, Ghost Walk. Raisy having to try and make a read. Unfortunately, his read on the re-entry was not successful.
I thought he was going to try and do a telefrag of some sort. I would have thought that K1llsen had enough of telefrags by this point.
I didn't want to go there.
It still hurts. It still hurts.
Hey, we still have an opportunity to play on the Veil, so if we're on Veil and that happens again, it's like, god. Oh god.
At least K1llsen can't hear us now.
I'm glad he can't. He's played so well.
Well, we need to see Raisy pull something off now. Need to catch K1llsen off guard somewhere, because with 50 seconds to go, he needs 2 frags, and it's looking less and less likely by the second. Actually getting rid of that totem. We've got a rocket jump up. He goes for the tri-bolt. It's nothing. Oh my god, almost a perforation. And with that damage, I don't think it's enough to be able to stop what Raisy wants to do. He goes in with the lightning gun, but that's fantastic damage from K1llsen.
And that's a clean round number 1 at that. And Blood Covenant, it's one of K1llsen's strongest maps for a reason, I feel, and we can't really be surprised that it was as dominant as it was. A big part of that was going Nyx first. It is, I've said it a million times and I'll say it again, that when the second you find a champion that just compliments you, and
I love it.
Mwah, finesse.
Yeah, that's just perfect movement right there.
Anyone seen that gif of that guy with a soul? That's what that was. You know what I'm talking about.
I just want to do a quick shout out. The amount of people in the audience at the moment, man.
Oh yeah.
The atmosphere is buzzing over here.
But like
That's
I was saying the actually, you know what? We'll talk about it later. He's saving some time for the Ghost Walk. Cannot get a sort of re-entry shot long out of harm's way. But the goal for Mega is a little bit risky here for K1llsen because he's pretty weak, but looking for that audio cue, now he's heard the jump pad activate, he kind of knows that he's in at least somewhat of a better position to try and take control.
Yeah, with the visor now instead of BJ, Raisy maybe on the gamble that K1llsen would be using Nyx first again, and realigning himself, feeling that visor is potentially going to do a better job of dealing with that champion. I think that's not a bad plan to go with, given the piercing sight, etc. Does he want to use the piercing sight aggressively now, or try to lock him down, wait for that potential escape, and then use the ability? That might be the name of the game, given the amount of time we've got left. Mystical, he can use it now. He's found it, but he was kind of late on it. Picks up the mega health after. He needs to hit a rail of some sort. K1llsen just claws his way around the corner. Goes for a rail. K1llsen still a lot closer than he expected. Raisy's just not landing the shots at the moment, Ketchup.
Yeah, as long as he's missing those rails, it's going to give K1llsen real estate that he otherwise shouldn't have had. And it was an unfortunate circumstance for Raisy, and we haven't really talked about it, but there's a solid reason he would have gone visor first, which is not what he did in the first round. And I think it is a direct answer for Nyx. With K1llsen having such a miracle round with Nyx, it's unlikely he's going to change away from her. So this visor is definitely a matchup thing. He wants that piercing sight, he wants to be able to chase down the Ghost Walk and prevent K1llsen from being as free as he wants to. Catch him in the air, but you feel like you have an upper hand against K1llsen. He's hitting rails like that.
Wow, he's just got the heavy as well. He's going to try and lock him down. It's a great move from Raisy to rocket jump out, and just in time as well. The frames away from having a rail angle for K1llsen. He's playing with fire. They're going to meet down at the bottom of pillars. He's just getting bounced around. Brilliant rockets from K1llsen, but he's left with 2 points of health.
And it's going to be enough to keep him in the fight as he now collects that mega. And this is something that K1llsen has been doing pretty much all the time, and it's very reminiscent of what we used to see in these big duel tournaments, which was just absolute unrivaled combat ability. If he's getting a defensive rail, he's landing it. Like, just rails like that. Just things that make you want to press the advantage, but you can't. Because how much damage are you prepared to take before the fight inevitably takes place?
Well, his Ghost Walk is back online. There is Raisy, who's getting slightly better control of the items at the moment. And K1llsen just playing it slow. Doesn't feel forced to do anything, and he might play Raisy the way that Raisy's played more defensively in the past. And actually could try to turtle it for 2 minutes. I wonder if he's brave enough to attempt that strategy.
I like that Raisy was going for machine gun and not rail there. Understanding that if he actually missed a rail, he probably would have given K1llsen the chance to press the advantage.
Ooh,
and I don't even know how he hit that.
That was pretty disgusting from Raisy. He's forced the Ghost Walk out just before he can take another big item. There's a good window of time before the heavy's up. If he can lock him down, this is it. There's got to be a kill for Raisy. LG, he's got to force his way in despite all the rockets. Shotgun is a brilliant weapon choice from him, and he's getting himself on the board.
That was a no-nonsense frag. That was a point blank. I'm not going to go for anything else. The super shotgun gives me a great spread, and you're Nyx, and you've not got much health left. That was such a good decision there from Raisy.
And it was bought by that insane rail. That insane rail did everything for him. Absolutely phenomenal.
But the switch now as K1llsen's gone into the visor. The first time we've seen the visor today. Oh, God. The combo, boys. Let's go.
That was painful. Just the sound alone, you could hear how wrecked K1llsen got. He's just got BJ remaining. We could get a round on the board to match K1llsen straight away. Despite these long thought-out rounds that we get between them, it's such a fascinating war of attrition. 2 rails from Raisy. He's starting to connect again. Maybe he's got something to follow up.
Oh, the rocket almost gave K1llsen the actual rail angle he was looking for, and Raisy staying here. A little bit risky, to be honest, with the low health that he's got. And I'm actually surprised K1llsen didn't even try and take that pot shot, to be honest. He needs to get back into this. We have 20 seconds left on the clock, and K1llsen, oh, Raisy, wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah, sticking around for those rails. All of a sudden he realized, I've used my totem, I've healed up off that already. What on earth can I do to try and get... not really control, just anything to help survive better. Now, sudden death is essentially already in play. The next kill will secure a round.
So that's actually an initial very good choice there from K1llsen. Instead of engaging the fight, you have to jump down and try and take the LG away from Raisy, who I believe doesn't have it. Depends on where his spawn was, but I'm sure we'll find out. Oh, never mind. He has an LG. Anyway, forget I said anything. But now we're in sudden death. Doesn't really mean anything. It's one champion for the round anyway, and K1llsen, if he continues to hit these really miracle rails, now the dual wield has gone for Raisy, he really is going to be pretty helpless at close range.
Save up with the pillars, a little bit of splash. Actually not a bad rocket at all. He's going to go at the bounce pad. It's crazy to do that. There's a duel coming out. He's got to be connecting, and he does do it. Raisy is on the board. We're 1 for 1 here at the beginning of the first map.
Seemed like somewhat of a risk going up that jump pad towards the Mega. He did have a timing on it, otherwise he wouldn't have been there, but putting a lot of confidence, I think, into his LG, and it does follow through. It
was kind of a claws move as well, and he looked at K1llsen, and I think the way that K1llsen was moving around, he's like, he doesn't expect me to go up the bounce pad, because it's normally a play you would 99% of the time avoid doing.
And now K1llsen has gone in for Nyx again. But again, it looked like it took him a little bit of extra time to collect that heavy, and that's a pretty running theme that we're seeing. They're trying to sort of deliberately miss time to kind of almost keep the flow of the map a bit more predictable. No piercing sight use from Raisy either. I like that. Normally you see a visor pop it immediately, and K1llsen right now has no way of knowing if the piercing sight has actually been popped either.
Raisy's doing a good job of reading the game as well. Without using the piercing sight, he picked a very good moment to go and get the railgun. Only damage receiving was of his own, and he knows that the Ghost Walk's being used. No surprises at all, but K1llsen still manages to get the bulk of all of that damage. The rocket right at the end. Denial of the light armor, which is a nice little touch from Raisy.
We are starting to see players do that a little bit more often now, actually. If you want to try and deny these big pickups, K1llsen caught in a bad spot. Melted away by that LG, of which he's now been forced onto the visor himself. I do wonder if he's going to pop the piercing sight immediately. He probably will now, he's close to the rail, in fact. Ooh. And yeah, that was definitely a piercing sight rail. Raisy knows it.
Wonder if he'll delay it. I think Raisy's been trying to get a good cycle going on the hourglasses in the last couple of rounds. I'd like him to continue doing that. It's a really nasty rocket, but however, K1llsen misses a big rail. Piercing sight is out. He doesn't go for the shot. Is he going to have a chance now? Tries to go through the floor, and K1llsen will have a good guess at the piercing sight. Is contributing to this.
A little bit of the tri-bolt spam to come through. It's going to get damaged, but it's not really enough to be significant just yet. K1llsen would have been railable if he hadn't picked up that mega health to undo the bleeding just a small amount here. And it is what we expected. We expected these rounds to be pretty slow, coming
Yeah.
down to just champions here and there. 5-minute rounds are something you can expect after how these guys went back and forth earlier today. Definitely the longest series we've had all tournament.
Both these guys very happy to play a slow game, you know, think it out, balance on control, not take too many risks, not looking to overcommit to many fights, and trying to bank on those 100% decisions. With Heavy coming up in just a second. Raisy doesn't seem to have any presence over there. He's just holding up on the hourglasses. Free to roam around, looking for some rocket damage with his good position, but that is a brilliant rocket jump up from K1llsen as he pushes Raisy away. He's secured position on the Mega Health. At the moment, it really feels like K1llsen's just trying to stabilize the control a lot of the big items, keep that overstack going, and then try to fight away Raisy, because he still needs to make that kill.
But the frustration factor is going to set in for K1llsen, because he knows that even though he's landing these amazing situations and he's been able to get control back, ultimately, Raisy's going to have the piercing sight, and the second you run around a corner and you eat that 100 damage rocket, it pretty much, a 100 damage rocket will undo whatever heavy or mega you just picked up. So that's going to be frustrating for K1llsen, but they're taking it in turns to now pop the piercing sight. Raisy's not going to want to overextend because he's kind of got a nice awareness of whether the piercing sight's ready or not.
Yeah.
Control does go back into K1llsen's favor, but again, back on the road, that obviously was not a piercing sight rail, but K1llsen, I wonder if there's a way for him to go, well, was it?
Yeah, you guys can see under the champion portraits at the top, there's either a number or a tick. When the tick is up, it means their ability is ready to go. The numbers, that's the amount of seconds left until the ability comes back off its cooldown.
And the thing is, these guys can't see that.
Yeah.
That's
Absolutely.
the important thing.
And if you see that number suddenly going down a large amount, it means they're picking up an hourglass, which reduces the cooldown by 10% per hourglass.
Definitely a pop shot right there. And I really do sense this is going to be one of those one champion rounds, be it K1llsen struggling to chase Raisy down, or whether it's going to be evened out and then come down to one more via sudden death. This is exactly what we expected.
Do you feel like Raisy's really gone full defensive, or is he waiting for a chance to react? Because K1llsen's had the majority of the control, but it's not like Raisy's totally lacking on items all the time. However, that's a really good defensive rocket. He might try to finish it now. It's great, LG. 14 health left for K1llsen. It's coming in for the finishing blow. There's another champion to go, but with 40 seconds left, you would assume that this is locked down.
That was a valiant attempt for K1llsen, understanding Raisy was going to chase him down from up top, which gives guaranteed damage, and just another rocket. Amazing rockets after amazing rockets. Raisy having a phenomenal round there, but it forces K1llsen to make a move. The thing about this slow, methodical style of play is the longer we go on and the closer we get to the timeout, the more your opponent, they have to do something, which causes them to make mistakes or be predictable, which is exactly what Raisy wants.
He's got such a strong defensive game. Well, definitely one of the strongest I've seen. The only other person I can think of is maybe Rafa as well, but he does piercing sight up. He knows he's in trouble. There's machine gun switches, it's great, and finishes him off before the Mega Health is picked up. That Nyx has been suffering the last couple of rounds. Raisy's been making mincemeat of her.
It almost feels like the manner of which Raisy was constantly taken by surprise in that first round. He's just straight up, he's simply not putting himself in that position for it to happen again.
He did play BJ first on the first round too, and I think since he made that adjustment with Visor, it's gone immensely well for him. And maybe you could say there's a failure for K1llsen to have adjusted. Maybe pick something else off the beginning and go for Visor first, even if Nyx is a great first pick.
I personally would have liked to have seen him go Visor first to really counteract Raisy's pick here. I know it's always going to be about player skill and player preferences, so the champions, whilst they make a difference, it's not set in stone for the most part.
Indeed.
In this instance, Visor beats Nyx. That's just the way this matchup seems to go in duel. So K1llsen's pretty much picking himself into an unfavorable matchup deliberately every time when there are alternatives there.
LG, 5 for both of them. Raisy's got advantageous health and armor, but going up that staircase can really hurt, and this is a good rails from K1llsen, but however, it's only connected one. He would leave him with only a couple of points of health if he gets shot, but the items are up. He's got the Mega Health behind him, so he can try and go for that last single rail. There's Heavy. Is Raisy going to give this to him? No.
K1llsen's actually just content giving it up, and the issue he's going to face is that one missed rail. Like, he has to try and run away for this Mega now, because the second that rail was missed, Raisy was like, okay, fine, thanks.
I think Raisy's going to look at not playing necessarily super slow and defensive and waiting for the clock, but I think he's going to be happy to keep an eye on him. Try and keep a tally on when that piercing sight's being used by K1llsen. and always have a defensively there.
It almost feels like the balance has been weighed on Nyx's shoulders so far. The rounds that K1llsen won, well, the round he won, ultimately came down to that surprise attack, and he finally manages to land a big rail. He's been looking for that for so many rounds in a row here, and finally gets what he needs.
Yeah, really solid. I was kind of expecting the machine gun to come out a bit, but if you're confident you're hitting them, it does not even matter anymore. And Raisy's visor has been pivotal to his success in the last couple of rounds. Shutting that one down is going to be a relief, and he's got visor himself. That's a big, big asset.
Now K1llsen's going to have a bit of a precarious position so far. There's a lot of stack here, and Raisy, if he manages to catch K1llsen off guard, he's going to have massive damage. That's just obviously what BJ brings to the table, but he's going to really struggle, I think, to find that situation while K1llsen has that increased vision.
That tri-bolt hurts so much. Is he going to rocket jump up? He is. The rail! It lands from K1llsen. It lands from both, but that was absolutely awesome from the German. Now he's got a champion advantage. He's going versus the Galena. He's going to feel like he's got every edge. Hell misses. Heavy's still open for him, and I think he might want to rocket jump up and get himself some more rail ammo.
I feel like that's such a K1llsen strategy, to go for the rocket jump into the cheeky rail angle. I think I see him do that more than anyone else in duel.
It was just so nicely timed from him. There he is. He eventually goes for the extra rail ammunition.
I'm going to be honest, dude. I really think if K1llsen wins this round, we're going to see him go visor first in the final round.
You think so?
I do. I don't think he's going to put
I
all that
hope so.
faith in Nyx.
I hope you're right. I think it would help him a lot, because the success has been from the visor right now. Lands a good rail, looking for a follow-up. Heavy has been taken. Raisy did have some great stack, and still does have good health and armor. But it was important for K1llsen to mitigate all that overstack that Raisy could otherwise have had.
And as you can see on the stacks now, it's going to be in K1llsen's favor. Maybe I spoke too soon as he gets railed unreturned, but he's not going to be too disappointed so far. We're on the 1 minute warning, and now it is Raisy's turn. He has to press the advantage here because he will lose by timeout.
Yeah, when this heavy comes up, he needs to go.
And I have no doubt he will. I really think he's going to now try and push.
Piercing side is up. He has to somehow avoid that. It's now gone down. He's going to go to the bounce pad. He waits a second. That rocket propels him forward a little bit, not landing any additional damage. And now the mega health spawns, but for each item he's going back to take is less time on the clock for him to make an attack.
I think that one rocket that knocked him away from the angle he was trying to hit was actually really bad. He lost every ounce to do damage. 15 seconds left on the clock. Raisy, you got to make something happen now, mate. But he's not in a good position to actually get a read on where he is. Look at how far away they are. Can he even reach him in time?
He's going to rocket jump. He goes over to rail. He's managed to find him, but to shut him down in the next 3 seconds, he misses the jump out. A couple of seconds to go, and K1llsen's going to tie up the rounds 2-2.
I really, really think he's not going to go Nyx first. I just don't see it.
I'm super curious. I think it'll be a really wise decision from K1llsen. Maybe keep Nyx in the background for when he's able to eliminate the visor. Really focus on doing that.
Oh, now I wonder if this. Oh, never mind. Okay.
I thought.
Yeah, I was going on the screen. I saw Galena from Raisy.
I saw Galena from Raisy. I was like, is that like a counter pick? But then K1llsen with the Nyx. If he can make it work, he's going actually full aggressive, right past towards the rail. I wonder if Raisy saw that. He's sitting right next to him. Hourglass is being picked up. There's a rocket sending Raisy right into the air. But LG, Raisy, he's being so aggressive of it. He needs to land rockets, but K1llsen is all over him. What happened to Raisy there?
I feel like he just sort of misplayed his position. K1llsen for a split second, I don't think he was completely aware where Raisy had been knocked to from that rocket. And the second K1llsen understood where he was, Raisy almost tried to sneak attack him and it didn't work out. The thing now is that the Nyx was being completely countered by the visor. And now the visor is gone. So K1llsen getting that absolute snowball effect of round number 1 can totally happen again.
Yeah, I really think that 3 kills straight is incredibly likely. And then Raisy just chipping away. Honestly, any amount of damage going versus Nyx is good, even the 20s. But for a few more 20s.
K1llsen, he's going to have to really try and sort of force that. It's almost like the fact that not even K1llsen having to force the dual wield. I think it's actually Raisy having to try and force the ghost ward. And maybe it's going to cost him his dual wield to do that. Oh.
Raisy was desperately trying to avoid that one. Now he needs to get his armor back up as close to that 100 mark as he can. He hears where he is. Kind of just letting him slip by, but he misses the rail. You've got to land those. There's so much overstack for K1llsen. That's given him loads of information on his position. It's got to be really, really annoying to miss a shot like that.
You often underestimate just how costly one miss could be. It's not just the fact that you miss damage, but giving a position away is super costly, and that was really well played by Raisy, actually, picking an angle that I'm not sure he was ready for. Doesn't quite get the rail. I think he tried to time it perfectly on re-entry, but that's a hard read and a half right there.
I thought that was super sick from Raisy to go back through the teleporter and chase on that other angle. That was quite creative from him. Tri-Bolt, really good damage. Raisy just about gets through the teleporter. There's 10 seconds still. This goes to back. Oh, we got a miss! Such a sick amount of damage. Raisy is forced back with that 100. Unbelievably clutch rail shot. That's going to be heavy for K1llsen. It keeps him alive. He's got the ghost door back, and his Nyx is live and kicking.
This is absolutely why he won round number 1. It was really slippery play. Like right there, does not want to take it direct. He knows he's in a really bad angle for it, and doesn't quite get the rail either. The problem he's have is now he's re-entered. There is no dual wield, but he still has less stack. The rocket doesn't come through. Doesn't get the rocket he was looking for. Just needed one more shot on the floor and was short just half a second.
That's unbelievable. K1llsen can't quite make it. There is heavy right now. He's getting pushed down below. Rocket's landing, and K1llsen only needs to secure himself one more frag. He's got that visor that's used to piercing sight. We've seen some great things from Raisy's Galena, but now he's really got to step up.
I love that choice from K1llsen. Spawn with visor, pop piercing sight. He had a wonderful spawn near rocket launcher, and that was all he needed to refrag. And just like that, he's been able to retake the lead. This is only map number 1, by the way.
Yeah, it's super, super tense. Rockets finally attained by Raisy. Heavy's going to be up in a couple of seconds. The lights are definitely helping him out. He's not been putting down any totems, really, which I found quite interesting. He really wants to keep them for combat purposes only.
And now I think Raisy's in a sort of an odd position that he can somewhat set up with Galena. You know, he can sort of try and put these totems down in key locations to maybe try and sort of run the circuit around the items. He can retreat to a totem if need be, but just like that, he's only got 1 minute to make a play happen. And while Galena can sometimes be a comeback champion, I don't really think it's on these bigger maps that you see it.
Raisy's sitting by heavy. He's actually really weak. He's lost all of his armor. I don't know if he rocket jump again. This could be the frag to finish it off. He's going to drop. The 25 health bubble comes in, but it means nothing. K1llsen wins his pick. He is 1 map away from the grand finals.
You know he's looking for that rematch. He wants the run back against Rafa more than anything. And being last year's defending champion, it would be strange to see him not in the grand finals this year. But how about consistency if he makes it through?
Yeah, completely. And what a marathon map that was, in fact. A lot of those rounds going the whole distance. Really unbelievable focus we're getting from the players. But Raisy was 2-1 up. Wasn't able to close down that map. I hope that hasn't shaken him or stirred him. He's going to have to go over to... we're going to...
Corrupted Keep.
Corrupted Keep, right on. Okay, Raisy's Keep is here. He's got to try and re-deliver.
This is an interesting situation because K1llsen has had some very sporadic performances on this map today, especially against Rafa, where it felt like Corrupted Keep kind of should have been his in a couple of these round scenarios, and it just... some really odd fumbles. I'm sure you saw as well, Zoot, the round number 3 where K1llsen had Rafa on a silver plate and just missed about 2 rockets.
Oh
no damage, he was point blank and just missed.
I think I heard from the audience his screams, actually, yeah. That was frustrating to watch. In fact, I can't imagine how it was like to play. But in terms of champions, of course, we've got the Clutch and the Ranger out. I'm wondering if we're going to see anyone pick the visor on this map. Otherwise, definitely the Galena's going to be there. That's going to be... Actually, I say that. We had a Nyx come out in one of the previous games too, so I wonder if they're going to go for Galena as a dead certain, or if Raisy's going to bring out the Keel. I think that's very possible.
I think that's...
BJ, definitely.
You would almost assume, actually, the Keel might be a complete guarantee, because almost every single time Raisy has been on this map so far at this tournament, he has actually gone Keel. He mentioned in the past he feels like maybe it can struggle against certain matchups, but he's clearly had the confidence in it today, so it's going to be Galena, it's going to be BJ. Ranger being banned away means that the chance of a Nyx does drastically go up, and I am wondering if K1llsen's going to go Nyx again or whether he prefers the rail. But he's putting some thought into this final choice. Who's it going to be?
There's a possibility. I don't know if he wants to Death Knight. He used that champion so much. He's going Keel.
Oh,
he's going to mirror it completely. I do think this favors Raisy. I think that he's got one of the top Keels in Europe. and he's applied it incredibly well on Corrupted Keep. If he can get some of those pineapples to land, then he could look in really, really good shape with that champion.
Well, we're loading into Corrupted Keep right now, which it might be our second map, final map, if K1llsen pulls this one off. Raisy is in desperation mode at this point. He had a hell of a fight on Blood Covenant, but if he loses this map, he's out of the tournament for good.
The Corrupted Keep has begun. We are on K1llsen's point of view at the moment. He's gone BJ first. Likewise has Raisy. He has the lightning gun. He has the rockets. He's feeling good. Raisy's not going for a hyper-aggressive start, not versus another Blazkowicz. And K1llsen just prodding at him a little bit.
But you know why K1llsen pulled away. You know, he's having spawned in the air rocket and LG. He knows that Raisy can't possibly have either. Yeah. So if he can keep Raisy off both of these weapons, what's he going to do in the 1v1? Like, there's very little. Yeah,
the thing is, it's difficult for him to push even closer in case Raisy can find a way around. Being able to deny those weapons for as long as possible is really good for K1llsen. But at some point, he's going to have to push in if he wants to make anything of this advantage.
I mean, right now, he's even denied just the nail gun. But I love the way that Raisy actually sort of played that. The second he sort of put K1llsen just far enough away that he was confident in his own movement to run in there, sneak away with the LG. Has put himself in a bit of a tricky position, but having a lot of confidence in the heavy machine gun that Raisy just... This ain't going to work out, mate. I don't think he's going to be able to survive this, especially now the Mega went in K1llsen's favor. Yeah, see ya. Oh, what? How is he alive?
Somehow gets out of there. However, he's got to relinquish full control of the map. He's found another 25 health bubble. Can't really go up the bounce pad. Is he going to do it? It looked like it through the X-ray.
I don't know how he survived that, by the way. I really don't. Just really on death's door. It's going to be a dual wield up. Oh, he almost gets the turnaround. All that work for nothing.
I wonder if Race is going to fight right off the spawn. He's there with the Gleno, managed to get onto the rockets. If he can land one, he can possibly deny this mega health. But he doesn't go for it. He's going to go straight for the heavy armor instead. He's got his health up to 100. He hasn't got the lightning gun at all. Commitment there would have been so brave for Raisy. Again with the rockets. Can he land something right at the end? K1llsen, he just wants to leave actually. Doesn't want to take any further risks. Want to keep that advantage as long as he can. And he can fight another day.
I still feel like he's in position to at least try and deny something here. With the Mega being 5 seconds away from respawning. That's where our next fight's going to be. He's trying to get some armor at least. But yeah, I think the fact that small armor didn't spawn kind of confirms that he's not going to take that fight yet.
Yeah, very passive overall from K1llsen. But again, I like how he's playing with the advantage. I hope that Raisy would have pushed in a little more than he did from the spawn, but there we go. With his overstack on the health, maybe he can use this as the foundations for something good, but he's always got to be wary of dual wield. Holding steady here, let's see, he can get the mega health. Heavy armor could be next on the menu. Again, he's allowing K1llsen to have free reign of that side of the map.
Understandable play for now, but he is starting to run out of time. We have sort of verged that 2-minute mark. This round's going to be over. Raisy trying to set up shop near the LG. There's a bunch of totems down, so if he does kind of lose this sort of snipe off here, he can restack back up thanks to the totems. And 10 seconds later, he's going to be able to actually overcharge his own health, which I think will actually become pretty bad for K1llsen, but still has no reason to overextend just yet.
Oh, there's a rocket, dual wheel, there's the well, never mind. No wonder what I was going to say. He is looking so good over there. He was getting overstacked healing anyway. Keel has come out too. Gets that healing through the wall, in fact. Great rockets from K1llsen. Looking for a grenade, possibly. Hasn't landed. The heavy machine gun switch is so good, but K1llsen survives. However, we could get a rush off the spawn. Item still not up for a couple of seconds time, and I don't think K1llsen can hang around the lightning gun room.
I really feel like Raid's going to try and maybe rush something here. He immediately gunned it for the LG, so he's got the weapon to do it. Has got him out of position, but the grenades don't connect, and they've traded it again. Final champion each. Raisy used a lot of his resources to get that frag, and another defensive rocket from K1llsen is just going to be sublime. Doing so many... It's so much damage he gets when he runs away. It just... The chance of him getting at least 70 damage is almost guaranteed, and what's got to be 1 health? Oh my god!
Oh, that's brutal. If it's going to get rushed down, a rocket on the exit. Raisy decided to run up the stairs via nail gun. That part of the room is an absolute death trap. If K1llsen were to just check the room, which he did, I mean, you're not far away from death's door at that stage.
1 HP. I mean, you always get blown away that someone survives with 1 HP, but how rarely does someone get 1 HP and then just die anyway? Because what can you do? Armor won't save you in that situation.
Well, Raisy recognizes that lightning gun is gone for the moment. So likewise, mega health. Ooh, that's a pretty good rocket, however. Raisy had such a good focus on the lightning gun spawn when going versus claws, and we could see the success it got for him. I almost wish he would adopt a similar strategy with K1llsen, even if he's not using lightning gun in the same way as claws. I felt like that just gave him so much energy on the map.
You see that from K1llsen at the end of that first round. There's a lot of body language with this guy, and there has been all day. You can really see just how much maintaining this championship actually means to him.
Oh, 100%.
And it sort of really comes across in his sort of general demeanor. Raisy getting clipped again by one of those prediction rockets that has just been on the money for K1llsen. Just his game sense on these small maps and knowing when to go with the rockets. Some of the best rockets in the business for Raisy dual wield shotguns. Can he finish the job?
Oh, stop. That was so sick from him with the shotgun. Again, with the absolute correct weapon to chase up against those health bubbles. Really, really nice. Raisy's so good at picking the right weapon for the right situation, and rarely gets caught out with that. K1llsen looking for a little bit of lightning gun. Can't stick around long. Knows that he's at a huge disadvantage health and armor-wise. Raisy might try to chase this one up. K1llsen dropping down. That mega health is not up for absolutely ages. Got fish out of water there, K1llsen. And it's going to be a presumably fairly free heavy. Unless K1llsen's just going for it.
He has a lot of weaponry to try and take this fight, but unfortunately with that dual wield, yeah, that's a quick turnaround. Raisy's being able to tie things up just a little bit, and a couple of missed timings there, I think, from K1llsen. He has to kind of try and clean things up going into these next few rounds, but they're very easy mistakes to understand that you made, right?
Yes. I mean, that mega part was, I think, the big one in that round. 5 seconds early for the mega health. I mean, that is plenty of time for Raisy to hit all sorts of lightning gun. Mega health taken, that's a good rocket from K1llsen, but LG goes first to Raisy, and he has the rockets shortly after.
I always find the beginning of this match really interesting. It always seems a lot slower now Ranger has been removed from play. Whenever there's a Ranger going first, which has pretty much been every other time we've seen Corrupted Keep, one of the players will immediately gun it for one of the big pickups, and more often than not, it starts a fight. You can't really take that now, so you've got to be a bit more methodical. Going in with the BJ first from Raisy means that he catches K1llsen out of position like he did just there.
Wow. Okay.
He can try and get some advantage and spring a trap that K1llsen's not really equipped to deal with. Popping his own dual wield, but so much damage has been done. Revving the gauntlet because, to be honest, that week, that was his best chance at doing damage.
I really love what Raisy did off the spawn too. He went over to heavy first, didn't commit. Oh, hang on, we might even never mind that for a second. He went over to heavy first to force the spawn at mega, didn't commit to heavy, and managed to get himself both major items and a spawn frag. It was really, really intelligent play off the spawn. Good pressure from K1llsen at the moment. Raisy's having to deal with this a lot. Eventually escaping, but is the pressure still on? It kind of is.
It looks like it to me, especially now that mega's been taken. He's going to get a little bit of sniping there with the heavy machine gun, but yeah, K1llsen just being a little bit of a bully. He kind of has no choice but to be running into the wheel, does not matter. K1llsen finally gets the pineapple he's looking for, and next champion is going to be Raisy for the turnaround. I love this choice because he's going to spawn with max grenades, but re-entry with a super shotgun. Only 2 shots left, and one of them had to do something.
That's unnecessary aggression at the end of the day, it felt like, for Raisy. Sure that you could get something done, but K1llsen, he's not going to let it go unpunished. Really on the ball with his aim.
I think he was that aggressive because fresh off spawn, he's got 5 grenades. He must have just felt like he had the damage he needed, and the totems can absorb a little bit, but a quick, less than 1 minute, 3 champion comeback from the Keel. That was a phenomenal round from K1llsen.
Yeah, superb. I feel like Raisy kind of, I mean, he didn't throw it a bit. He kind of went a little bit passive when that Keel spawned for K1llsen. He allowed K1llsen to just be very aggressive and to push him around the map a lot. Needed to get that damage to kind of keep K1llsen at bay. Off the spawn here though in round 4. Players being aggressive. Dual whipping pop for both of them. Shotgun versus LG. Can hear the screams from K1llsen. He's not going to make his way away. He's looking for a direct blast here, but he's not landing it. Screams out one more time. LG again, 13 points of health.
Give us another one.
Is he going to hear it? Oh,
my God! I cannot believe he survived that, Zoot. The screams of agony keeping him alive somehow. And let's not forget, this is match point for K1llsen. If he takes this round, he has eliminated Raisy and defeated him again, walking into a super shotgun. Excellent catch. You can see the little smile there from K1llsen, like, oh yeah, okay, fair enough.
Oh God, that hurts. It hurts. It stings so bad. And that is going to be Galena down. You say he was so close to winning the round, Raisy suddenly turned it on its head. But the Keel has been a little troublesome for him. He couldn't clear the way to a round win last time. This could not be so guaranteed.
I hate to hear BJ in pain that regularly. It makes me sad. Oh, Raisy. Dangerous now. A little bit of the heal was going to do some of the job, but fortunately has got a totem to retreat to. That's good knowledge from Raisy. And instantly the heavy. From being on death's door to pretty much the complete opposite.
Really good recovery from it. Heavy machine gun, he's actually got not a bad angle, even though you only see a little bit of Keel there, and he's just seen, I think that was 5 grenades go out. He could possibly even close the gap on this, realizing that at maximum there's 1 grenade that can shut his day down. That's a lot of damage.
And I think this has to be guaranteed. Chasing up with the LG, K1llsen put himself in a bit of a tricky position, and just Raisy sticking true to his guns, and now we're in an interesting position.
Oh.
1 round away from Raisy to stay alive, or a round of him being eliminated.
I love it, it's going down to the wire every single map between these players.
Can you say evenly matched?
I mean, incredibly so. At the level of competition we've got in the game, so many, there's a bunch of players right at the top. They can take games off each other, but it's down to who can handle the pressure at this given time. Raisy, he holds his ground. He manages to get the first kill. K1llsen being strangely aggressive for the good laner off the spawn.
And taking a little bit of free damage, unfortunately, as he falls down and can't take the Mega.
Ow.
Wow, the grenade, they hurt a lot. Is he going to get the shotgun blast? He needs to try, but he can't finish the job. The LG is going to punish him for a second time, down to the final BJ. K1llsen's in big trouble here.
He's in huge trouble.
It's unlikely he's going to win the round based on this deficit.
How the hell are we going to get ourselves over to a tiebreaker? I don't know. He goes through the air. Raisy's going to be able to get some good tracking there. Minimize the overstack. He goes up to the lightning gun himself. He's still got to be careful. There's that dual wield. He's got to escape somehow. He goes back underneath. There's hello, let's change places. Now I'm going to have the dual wield up in a second, and you don't.
That was so perfectly played from Raisy, not only staying alive, but maintaining presence of the LG rim, getting stacked back up, and now he's got his own dual wield. K1llsen has to really have the 1v1 of his life. He's going to survive this. The heavy's been collected by Raisy, which makes it even harder, but the Mega has been recovered by K1llsen instead. This might be the last lifeline he has. It's crazy to think this round might be over, and it's only just begun.
But it's still very tense. It's definitely not done. Raisy knows the job is not complete. And we've seen some, you know, full reverse sweeps in rounds from K1llsen already. He's just got to be incredibly careful. And K1llsen wants to finish the job right now. You can see himself in the final still.
There's a lot of things that could weigh on your shoulders here, knowing that you've got 1 champion left, and if you win this, you get grand finals directly. I mean, that's a lot of mental fortitude for a player. Yeah, really tried to.
I think that was dual wield just there. That's...
Yeah, it was popped.
Maybe a danger. I think the light armor just spawned behind K1llsen. Oh, no, it did. Never mind that.
But you see it yourself, right? The fact that the dual wield is gone kind of spells pretty bad news for Raisy, but he is nicely stacked at the very least. So even if K1llsen pops dual wield here, Raisy can still kill him. He has so much more armor. And very premature.
That push just forced it out. Raisy's still got to get out of there. He's taking a lot of damage. But never mind that, K1llsen's actually significantly weaker. Raisy's got the dual wield back online. There's ages until our items. He needs to push in. 60 health left. Passive, going to pop it back up. I think he just stole away the light armor too, in order to deny as many things as possible. Another light armor's been taken. He's got to hunt K1llsen down, and he's just found him. That's going to be it. We're going over to a map 3.
That was a suicide, but to be honest, it may as well not have been. Like, K1llsen had no choice but to do something there at close range, and he just so happened to not have the health he needed. I'm not surprised that we're going into a map 3, but it does become interesting, Zoot. The Vale of Nath.
This guy's been playing amazing on Vale of Nath. I've still got to catch my breath from that map. Man, this is a roller coaster of emotions, and the tension's just been rising through the tournament.
It was really close last time these guys went head-to-head earlier today, and seems to be a complete mirror image so far. Now, the Vale so far has been Rafa and Raisy's maps, respectively. Like, they have had the highest success rate. But out of all the players that have historically not been seen too much on this map, K1llsen actually seems to fight back against this pick the best. Yeah.
No, he's very good here. Even though Raisy's arguably more successful, K1llsen played a very strong game on Vale against Rafa. Again, it seems really 50-50. I would be very surprised if we don't go to a 5th round and we get 15 full rounds in this series. easy to say, but you know, when we get into game and find out, that'll be the difference. In terms of champions, obviously we've got no Ranger, no Clutch. Galena is a given. Ranger, I don't think is a given necessarily.
Keel's guaranteed, I think.
Keel, yeah. Do you think both of them will pick Keel?
I think there's a good chance both of them will.
Okay.
It's just, if there is one map that fits Keel perfectly, I actually think Veil was pretty much that. Now, I kind of wish there was a poll. There was a way we could make a poll or something, because I want to know what the chat thinks. I think the audience is going to be split on this one.
BJ, Galena very early off of this.
Keel.
Is it just going to be quick?
Yep.
Strictly business. Let's get into this one. The tie-breaking map is going to begin momentarily. Be curious to hear who you guys are with this one. Who are you giving your energy? Are you giving it to K1llsen or to Raisy? K1llsen, he is the reigning champion of this tournament. He won in 2017. He's looking to take it 2 times in a row. Raisy has had a very strong performance back in ESWC last week. He's looking to get a #1. He still needs to work his way there. Guys, we are getting into game right now. Map 3, lower bracket final. Raisy versus K1llsen.
I've already mentioned it earlier today, and I'll mention it again. This is a what? Huh? Okay, so K1llsen just lost Galena.
And maybe Keel too in second.
It looks like it, doesn't it? Okay, so this is a very common thing in Veil, though. That when 2 people spawn near Rocket, one is guaranteed, and K1llsen with the tri-bolt. In less than 30 seconds, 2 champions have already died too.
So the 2 champions died before the first major item was picked up.
What?
Okay.
Fair enough, boys.
This is normal, guys. This is standard state of affairs.
Just naff things.
Well, we've got Keel versus Keel. I mean, they've got loads of grenades. Ooh, that was a tasty rocket.
He is starting to chase it down. It's a very common thing in this game, the chase, and chasing Keel can be quite risky in these tight, twisty corridors, though. Chance of him missing a grenade is almost impossible. And here comes the LG, trying to push his way back out. K1llsen trying to mix things up some. Get an immediate punish there on the heavy, and even though his read was correct, couldn't quite get the LG to force him away. I think that might have been K1llsen's strategy, was trying to push him away from the heavy, but he gets it anyway.
Did you just spot him there? Is K1llsen going to go through the teleporter? What as it stands? Well, he'll go through a different teleporter.
This for me is a really exciting top 3. You know, it is a champion of champions. Every single player left in this bracket has won a major duel tournament. Yeah,
it's wild. This whole tournament, even to begin with, was so damn stacked.
Here come the fireworks.
It's really a huge amount of bragging rights. Aside from, you know, the prize money and the seeding for an invite to DreamHack Winter, there is a lot of pride on the line here.
Absolutely, trying to go for the long range tri-bolt to keep him at arm's reach, but the issue is that he's been unable to really keep much from Raisy. His stack can be undone, but they trade! Rocket versus LG, both Keels are out of there.
K1llsen actually looked a lot happier to be getting a trade in that situation. I think he was outstacked. Raisy had slightly better control at that point in time. Oh my god, that is a rocket. He's going to go back through one via the gap. He won't get it. And there's a quick chase down below, but the dual wield is going to allow K1llsen to take the edge, and Raisy's like, what happened there?
There's a bit of a ring around the rosies there. I don't think they could really sort of gauge who was around what side of that giant pillar, but it's going to be K1llsen in a favourable matchup again. Point blank against Galena versus BJ. I'll take BJ any day of the week. And the whole thing came just how early the exchange was. Speaking of which, wonder if we're going to see it again. Raisy going to be spawning right next to LG, which has been said does give him a pretty decent position to try and fight for the rocket. You're pretty much right next to it. You've got the LG, which can already dish out massive damage.
That vertical lightning gun already. Rockets through the gap still to watch out for. That totem still not yet disappeared. As he disappears, get himself a light armor. He's got rail, missing a bit of LG ammunition, but he's going to go chase that one down.
Only 1 tick's going to be granted for Raisy, but it's knowledge anyway. The positioning knows that Raisy's kind of stuck a little bit, but the defensive rail
really
keeping K1llsen super far away. And I like those plays. Both these players have been doing that pretty much the entire time in this series. Chasing has been such a risky business. You have to calculate how much damage am I going to take to chase this down. If it's 100% rail, you probably can't take that risk.
Okay, this is some really important shots that Raisy's landing, and the rocket is fantastic. Tri-bolt damage is also good from K1llsen, but he's left weak. That totem at the top, though, I believe still stands, however. I might be wrong.
And now K1llsen, he's been doing a really good job actually of sort of restacking back up when he's almost dead. Raisy trying to go as fast as possible through that teleport. That's one of the strategies players do actually. They'll do anything that gives them a burst of speed as they enter the teleporter. So as they reappear, they're already out of there. You know, the chance of running into a totem or a rocket or a grenade is so high on Vale because how useful teleporters are. You have to use them, unless you're Ranger, of course, but he's removed.
Actually, I know a minute and a half's already passed, but I'm actually really surprised at Raisy's BJ pick instead of Keel at the beginning. Oftentimes you're kind of racing for that control up at the top, but he's deciding to put something special into this.
Well, for a moment, Raisy, you almost wonder if he was trying to play off the very first spawn, because he actually did spawn next to LG. He was on LG's side. If K1llsen overextended and tried to take a rocket and that fight in the center of the map took place again, he would have absolutely melted him, which is actually what happened at the start of the first round. No, we barely saw it as we came in, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened. I saw a dual wield with 2 LGs.
Searching for rockets, now comes the tri-volt. Distance is getting better and better for K1llsen. He's taking some nasty amounts of splash damage. Tri-volt still raining from the hands of K1llsen. There goes the heavy armor. Raisy gets it relatively scot-free. Again, the splash. He goes for the rocket jump. He wins the race over to Mega Health, and he's landing great rockets. Surely the kill is coming out. He's on 30 points of health. K1llsen is terribly low.
I think both of them are low at this stage. Raisy definitely taking a lot more damage than I think he was expecting. And both players one rail. Raisy particularly in danger, even with that light armor.
I thought Raisy had that one.
Me too.
I thought it was done. Dual wield. Passive will help out quite a lot, actually. He's going to go for the rocket jump up. He does get it. Direct rocket. Looks for the rail. 10 health to go. Needs to get on the HP bubble. And the splash rocket is going to take him down.
And right as he's died, let's destroy that totem as well. Reward ourselves with that mega health. K1llsen with the Keel. He's been unable to land some of the grenades so far. Some pretty good rockets, but not enough to really deter Raisy so far, who's going to keep the pressure laid on thick.
That's the teleporter used by K1llsen. He's managed to find a couple of resources down in the rail room, but the rotation of item swings back up. Brilliant rocket. He misses the jump onto heavy. Doesn't get punished too hard for it, only punishes himself with the rocket jump. And I think he might just rush through this. Yeah, he just goes for it. Full control for Raisy still. And actually not too far away from getting yet another kill, but that's amazing damage from K1llsen.
It's also the fact that he's getting pushed away consistently. You know, Raisy, every time he's trying to position himself to try and take a fight, he's getting forced off a platform or a ledge that he's trying to stay on to, you know, try and initiate something. If he gets pushed away, it wastes a ton of time, and the time that it wastes lets K1llsen go and restack back up as well. And now they're completely even, pretty much.
I wonder if Raisy is thinking about the clock now. Just a minute left. Maybe he can think of turtling this one down. He's got dual wield. He's got tons of ammunition. That's not a problem. He knows that he gives away a full rotation of items, but K1llsen was kind of low beforehand, so it's not maximum overstack. It's still a lot of stack, but not the maximum.
If K1llsen lands grenades here in this fight, if he can even find Raisy, for one, he has got the tools to get the job done. The 3 grenades plus all of his ammunition can melt away Raisy, even if he's got a dual wield, but K1llsen's going to have to make sure he outguns as fast as possible. But that said, again, the goal here for Raisy is going to be to try and prevent that from taking place. He wants that timeout. He's shown us all tournament long that he's not afraid to play by one champion win, if need be. He's done it against so many people.
This is terrifying. Less than 20 seconds to go. Catch up. K1llsen's now on the prowl.
Just can't find him.
He's heard the bounce pad getting used. Can he cut him off anywhere? 10. Raisy trying to make the run around towards LG. He's now been found. 5 seconds. Gets through the teleporter. There's the light armor there. He's got to try and defend. There's 1 second to go. He just gets round the corner. Shaking his head. That was closer than he wanted it to be, but the round is there.
It was that one rocket that both did good damage to Raisy that K1llsen could have maybe followed up, but it knocked Raisy to safety round the corner. And when you've only got 2 seconds left on the clock, getting knocked round the corner is the worst case scenario.
Yeah, that was too close to comfort. On the edge of my seat right now. We're down to a best of 3 on rounds. So determine who goes to the grand final to play versus Rafa. That'd mean a rematch for K1llsen or... Ooh, totem lands. He's done a lot of damage. This could be a round for Raisy. Sorry, first frag for Raisy. But he's just let him get out of reach.
Still in a good position if he can get a magical angle, but yeah, doesn't want to chase that one down. Chasing that would have put you in a tunnel of death. Guaranteed damage, I think. Trying to heal himself up on the totem, and K1llsen will be mad to chase this one down, and Raisy knows that he's going to use this as an opportunity to take the heavy. And it has been hard to call. Both players kind of really sort of slipping in and out of absolute danger so far. And there's no wonder it's coming down to individual champions and timeouts here.
I like that Raisy got rid of all the overstacked health that K1llsen had from that mega. Means that the health and armor is fairly equal between the 2 players, and it will come down to the next rotation of items. But it's interesting that Raisy's the one now using Helena first, and K1llsen's changed. Getting a lot of change of strategy between the two players. I like it, but round by round, getting these different starts is very interesting to see what goes down between the players. This has been a very common angle, I think, for K1llsen, getting the tri-bolt damage. Raisy's got to watch out because he loses a lot of resources from receiving those bolts to the face.
Yeah, because it's also not just the damage of the tri-bolts, the knockback. You know, the knockback can put Raisy in some really funny angles that allow K1llsen to initiate and engage. Teleports directly into the totem. I think he's ready to take the risk. Missile almost connects, but misses barely. They're going to use that attempt to try and even things out. Raisy has a Mega, but with no armor yet.
Very uneasy on that Mega health. When it wasn't spawning, it was like, please, please, please. And then he can breathe. The light armor is up at the top. He can set up the totem once again. Once the doors are open, he is looking for a flick. Nothing to connect.
It's that really awkward sort of exchange of, I want a rail angle, but I don't want to be railed myself. And they're trading heavy machine gun for tri-bolt. Again, relatively even damage. This has been such an immense back and forth. And going in for the dual wield, but just can't get the money shot, walking right into the rockets.
K1llsen seems so determined then, but he had to stop. He had to cut his losses, even though he had popped the dual wield. Just get back, do not go through that choke point. Raisy had some fantastic damage over there. Now, though, is Keel to deal with. Been super impressed by K1llsen's Keel play this week. I didn't realize he was as strong with that champion as he is. He's been absolutely phenomenal.
Petition for K1llsen to change his name to K1llsen.
I'll take it, definitely.
Someone get that made right now. But again, it's giving Raisy the opportunity, and again, it's the real estate to play this heavily defensive style. He said in the past he doesn't like playing this way. He doesn't like playing hyper defensive, and he knows that he's going to get some flack from people online, but you know what? They don't know what they're talking about. This guy's playing to win. He wants to win a tournament. He wants a grand finals against the best dueler in the world.
He doesn't want a grand finals. He doesn't want it. He wants to win them, man. He's going to destroy everyone like this.
But that's the thing, is that it's at this level of competition, you use the tools that are available to you. And if he has the tools to do it, and he's going to get in grand finals, get some cash, of course he'll do it. Oh.
And he's one of the best in the biz for it.
Which is almost weird, because Raisy was known for so long as being overly aggressive last year.
Yeah, well, the transformations have been absolutely tremendous. K1llsen moving through the teleporter, finds Raisy over by Mega. That's not up for 10 seconds time. Is there a miss time from Raisy then? He's relinquishing a lot of control here.
Actually, nice little recovery there from K1llsen. But it's like I've said, I think the constant competition and playing among the world's best has really sort of helped to mature Raisy as a competitive player. Like, he's learned so much and fundamentally has gone from strength to strength.
Oh, just sneaks through the teleporter. There's a totem on the edge. There's tons of damage there from Raisy. 5 seconds left of the heavy. This is a time where you switch from defensive and you go aggressive. Prevent K1llsen from picking up that heavy armor for free. LG takes him down. That is another champion eliminated for K1llsen. We could be having Raisy on match point in a few short moments.
But the longer Raisy manages to adapt this style and catch K1llsen off guard, the more frustrated it's going to make K1llsen, and just like that, Raisy has turned it round. He cannot get overly aggressive now, though. He cannot let the stress of having to fight this absolute brick wall of an opponent get to his head, because if he makes mistakes now, it's his last chance.
What I really want to see, though, from Raisy is clear mind right now. Don't let it go up to the tiebreaker. It seems to happen a lot where he gets a big advantage and it goes really nail-biting at the end of a map. I want to see him take it up a level, and if he really wants to show Rafa who's boss, he needs to get a clear 3-1 here on Vale. Well, for K1llsen, obviously, it's going the other way around.
Raisy making sure he's nice and close to the teleporter just in case he gets ambushed. I actually love that sort of like ninja attempt, you know, jumping just over, trying to get a back attack, but K1llsen's so weak. Oh my god! That rocket was delicious!
With 3 health left, Raisy knew what it took. He's going to rush from the spawn. He does get the kill in the end, but you know what? K1llsen, how weak he was from that fight. I still think he can be pretty happy with the outcome of that. However, right off the spawn, Keel down at rockets, a lot of LG damage taken. Raisy's going to top up with some more lightning gun ammunition, take some armor. I think he wants the railgun too, and he's looking pretty decent. Both rails whiffing.
Raisy's ability to restack has been so impressive, and just try to really squeeze the lightest amount of self-damage there so he can take the armor. I agree with it. Caught off guard a little bit by the Pineapples, trying to jump down, making sure there's heavy ready and waiting, of which it will be. K1llsen still incredibly weak. He gets the Mega, but runs into the belly of the beast. They were some fantastic grenades, though. Okay, this is... Oh my god! Both players railable.
That was really sick return fire from K1llsen. I think there's going to be a light armor back, and just any second now. He was trying to deny it earlier on. And I think, honestly, it looked like Raisy was going to get another frag just then, but he couldn't make it. An unbelievable, another shot from K1llsen, and Raisy just realized this is too risky to jump to that heavy armor. He has to give it away. It means he's got to give the Mega Health away too. He's going down towards the lower lightning gun. He doesn't even get the light armor over there because he'd be totally trapped.
It's a big sacrifice right here to take. K1llsen clearly right now does not have a complete gauge on where Raisy is, but he has a massively impressive stack here. Has been able to catch Raisy off guard. The Tri-Bolt confirmed the teleporter has been used. K1llsen more than equipped, and Raisy's going to have to try and play this patient game, but it's not to get the champion lead anymore. It's just try and survive.
Oh, that was really sick use of the dual wield. He's going to find it! It's a mutual frag! K1llsen, I think, he was hoping to maintain control just then, so it's a bit upsetting, but he gets a great spawn. Lightning gun there, rocket launcher. He has got the heavy armor too, and the Mega Health. Raisy's the one on the back foot right now.
He is perfectly well equipped, locked and loaded. If he pops dual wield now, has to watch out for the grenades. This is one of the worst parts of the map to actually have a grenade fight though, because you're almost guaranteed to take that full damage. 75 damage per grenade does not tickle. My god, this is so close to it. I can't watch. I literally cannot watch right now.
It's insanely close. I wonder who's going to be proactive in this one, or if they're going to sort of hinge on some sort of stalematey situation for a little bit and then go aggressive. Raising them with the Keel. He's got that Mega beside him. He is going to go with it. Rockets, grenades, trying to land something. He does enough damage to keep him at bay, but there's so much LG from K1llsen.
So much stack on the side of Keel.
Yeah.
Such a chunky boy, hard to take down, and he has to really watch out. Can he land the rocket? Has to watch out. No, Raisy gets the return of the nails, and K1llsen himself cannot believe it, just like that.
Raisy, he's going through to the grand final right now. He gets redemption here in the loser bracket final. Unbelievable performance from him. He managed to avoid going to that 2-2 situation on Vale. Such exemplary performance from Raisy, and even a sigh of relief then from him.
It looks to me like those nails just absolutely caught K1llsen off guard. Like, he went into that fight well prepared as to how much damage he was likely to take, but the quick turnaround from Raisy, just pulling that entire 180 and just getting a few nails back to back.
It's that room where he just does unbelievable things. He seems to be a ninja in that area. The amount of fights that he's overturned when he seems like he's got no right to win, it's remarkable.
That's not the first time K1llsen has actually lost an entire series to a surprise nail. The exact same thing happened in DreamHack Winter versus Dahang.
Oh god.
One of the best duels I think we've ever seen, period. It was Dahang versus K1llsen. It actually ended the exact same way, just a little bit further away. But unfortunately for K1llsen, his journey here at the Italian Esports Open is going to end, and he's going to take home a third place. Here's the interview with Raisy.
Very much, gentlemen. Raisy, I've got no idea how you always look so calm. Your heart rate, as far as I'm concerned, should have been up to about 200 minutes ago. It is. Please talk to me about map 2. Corrupted. It looked like you were this close from defeat. It looked like a 2-0. And what clicked that allowed you to turn that around? That was fantastic stuff from you.
I don't exactly remember how the map went. All I remember is that I was focusing on the current round all the time. Even if I lost the previous ones, I tried to ignore it and just focus on the next one. Once I got a good control on Corrupted Keep, I tried to pressure him as much as I could and then fall back on items, and eventually it just worked.
And then we saw you change up the tempo of the game and really take control over how slow or how quickly K1llsen was playing, especially on Vale. That seemed to work out quite well for you. Was it you adapting to his playstyle, or was it you trying something to throw him off? Talk me through the thought process behind what happened there.
He had the upper ground most of the times, and I was just trying to play it very safely, see if I can manage to flip it around. But he was denying me a lot with his Tri-Bolt spams, and a lot of the times I was not even trying to go up to the higher grounds and instead just make up traps around the armor, on the heavy armor. And when he felt like if it's safe, and jumped down. All of a sudden I appeared with dual wielding and then just punished him for it.
And now, of course, you have the opportunity to try and wrestle away Rafa's position in the upper bracket. How are you feeling about that match?
I'm nervous and I'm a little bit depleted, but I'm glad that I can finally have the chance to play against him again. I just hope that it's going to be a good match.
Well, have yourself a little rest now. You've earned it. Obviously, you have to come back out here, but fingers crossed you'll be less depleted and full of energy for what promises to be an amazing grand final here at the Italian Esports Open. We're going to get set up on stage and go to a quick break before the grand final, but prior to that, we're going to chuck it over to the analyst to tell us all about how that incredible match unfolded.
Just like that, Zoot.
Yeah.
There's only one player left in EU that might be able to stop the Titan of North America, the guy that just turned up and he's just taking our towns, burning our villages.
Yeah, I want to talk about what that matchup could be like and some of the history behind it, but I just want to say, Raisy actually looked pretty chill on stage there. That's the most we've heard from him, I think, through any of the interviews, and we've heard a lot of questions for a lot of the players going up on the stage. He seemed pretty relieved and kind of happy with his performance overall.
Yeah, and I think that's really helpful for him to sort of make sure that he still looks like he's got some energy left. I don't blame him for being, sort of depleted after that performance, because K1llsen versus himself always seems to go the distance, and that's now 2 separate times today they've had to do that. But this time, going in Raisy's favour. K1llsen understandably looked disappointed. He was really gunning for that grand final. He wanted the run back versus Rafa. I feel like he probably would have actually done better against Rafa after a second attempt, because of just how much actually went wrong in the winners bracket final.
It's true, but it's if you want to come back from the lower bracket and you want to win over Rafa and you want to take the trophy, you've got to beat him in a best of 3 twice. And did we do that same? That was quite cool.
I think it was not planned either.
It is. We don't choreograph.
How about that for synergy, folks? A year and a half of commentary. Look where we are. But yeah, so Blood Covenant was even a crazy way to start things off, because I think it really set the pace about what we could expect for the rest of it. This was slow, methodical, came down to a singular champions round after round, and that's pretty much how the rest of it went too. It just slightly larger size, yes, but the general meta game was exactly the same. The big thing for me was how things ended on the Veil of Nath. I'm really excited now, and I actually asked Rafa earlier today. I said, what is the chances of you and Raisy actually having Veil in your map rotation? Are you guys likely to ban it, or do you actually want to play against each other? And Rafa basically was like, I'm down. I'm down. I want to
see it. I want to see which continent owns that map. That's what I want to see. I think Rafa's got a big advantage. Obviously, coming from the winner bracket in the final, you only have to win 1 best of 3. You're looking pretty good there. I think a lot of people would comfortably side with Rafa on that one, but I really think that Raisy is going to be able to bring it to him pretty hard. And I always think of the match back at Quake World Championship 2017, the last 7 seconds, if Raisy could have taken him down on like his come out performance as a player. Like, people learned his name at that tournament. He almost eliminated Rafa from the competition. That was emotional. I know now that he still thinks of that moment over a year later.
And of course you would, because it was his win. He just simply needed to not press that W key and jump down that ledge.
Just go left. Just turn left next time.
Yeah, but that's the thing about Raisy, is that he is the absolute... He really embodies the growth of a player that was always knowledgeable and played Quake, but has used Quake Champions as kind of like his stepping stone to greatness. He went into Quake Champions definitely as like a, let's face it, who the hell is this guy kind of moment, where he was a semi-professional Counter-Strike player. He always played Quake for fun, but was never like super serious with it, and Quake Champions was his entryway. And he had the Quake World Championship, I believe, in week 3 or week 4. He was one of the last qualified players in the regionals, and was able to play. And even during the regionals, there were a lot of... He was the talk of the town, and people saying, who is this guy? He's just turned up and just ridiculously like collected. I think, what was it back then? I think Noctis was the one that defeated him, but it was a really hard-fought battle. And Toxic had a real block against